Hello, I'm Jitendra from Espressotec Sales and Service. This is going to be a video on how to change your group gasket and your shower screen on your Rancilio home or commercial espresso machines. Some of the tools that you'll need is a group head brush, also a dental pick, and a flathead screwdriver. It's also nice to have some detergent mixed in with some water as well for the cleaning, and a flat, fine screwdriver along with an 8mm nut driver. So the very first thing is make sure your unit's nice and off and it's cooled down. You don't want to be working on a hot unit. You'll basically burn yourself unnecessarily. So I want to go ahead and remove the screw. As you notice on our unit, it's got an 8mm hex head screw, and so some of the older Rancilio espresso machines, the home and commercial, will have a flat flushed screw. The newer ones will have this 8mm hex head, which makes life a little easier to remove it in case it's really stuck. But I'm just going to go ahead and remove the screw. So now that I've loosened it with the screwdriver, I'm going to go ahead and remove the rest of the threads by hand. And just be careful when you're taking it out. There's a lot of components that come out when you remove this one screw. So first comes the screw, followed by the shower screen, the water spreader, and then the group spacer. With that out of the way, I can now go ahead and remove the group gasket. I'll do so using the dental pick. So simply stab right in to the group gasket and pull it down. Now, if your group gasket is hardened, and the best way to tell that is when you're going to pour a shot, if it's always leaking water around your portafilter handle, or you have to tighten it excessively hard, it's basically time to replace that group gasket. For home users, that winds up being every year to 2 years. So for home users, we recommend to use quality espresso machine parts, and they have the Rancilio home gasket. For commercial users, you can use the Rancilio commercial gasket, but now Rancilio has a new group gasket that's made out of a tougher composite and lasts much longer. So that's something that some of the commercial users might want to look into. Now with everything out of the group head, we want to go ahead and clean it out. So using the group head brush and the detergent, you want to basically clean out the channel that the group gasket was sitting in, and also the ears where the portafilter handle locks into, because that'll gum up with coffee oils over time, and this just makes everything nice and clean so your coffee doesn't get stained with older coffee oils and taste bitter. So now once everything is good and clean, we want to go ahead and install the new group gasket. The way to install it is with the R Rancilio logo facing up into the machine. So a trick to get it in is to wet it a little bit, and it slides in a lot easier. Now to get that final bit in, to make sure it's properly seated, you can use the group gasket tool, which helps get your group gasket in, or a trick for home users, you can simply just use your portafilter handle, but remove the basket, and you'll be able to get it in the same way. In this video, I'll be using the group gasket tool. Just lock it in the group head and tighten it over, and that seats the group gasket all the way in. Next thing to go in would be the group seal, the water diffuser, the water screen, and the screw. A quick side note on the group spacer. The reason why the newer Rancilio units have this and some of the older ones won't is because this lets the Rancilio units use pods. What you do is if you are converting to pods, instead of replacing all of these components, you would replace it with the pod group spacer, the pod shower screen, and you would be using your pod basket. In this video, we'll be putting in the original components. So we're going to have the group seal, followed by the water diffuser or spreader, the shower screen, and in this case our shower screen is very clean. If yours is gummed up, you just soak it in some espresso machine detergent and clean it with a brush. Otherwise, if it's completely caked and it can't be cleaned, you would just replace this component. And then just put it all together with the screw back in. So I'm going to just take this and put it back into the group head. going to tighten it by hand and give it one final snug with the flathead. Doesn't have to be overly tight, just a nice snug fit. It's good enough. So that covers on how to change your goop gasket and shower screen for your Rancilio home and commercial espresso machines. Thanks for checking this video out, and stay tuned for our next one.